Today we're going to talk a little bit about booth control and kiosk mode in darkroom booth. First thing to note is if you're going to be using this function, make sure that you're using your own network. Using your own network is going to guarantee the highest quality of bandwidth and control throughout the entire network. If you're going to be using booth control and kiosk mode in darkroom booth, it's probably a good idea for you to invest in a wireless router or an Ethernet switch so that you're not relying on a venue's internet or Wi-Fi service. If you are going to be working in a place that has internet or Wi-Fi, we suggest that you contact the IT department of that facility so that you have full understanding of how their system works and if there's going to be any barriers to being able to utilize their Wi-Fi for booth control and kiosk mode. To utilize booth mode and booth control, we're going to click on Global Settings, and then we're going to click onto the Booth Control tab in Global Settings. From there, you can see here that we can enable booth control by clicking the top box, and if we hit the test button, it'll open up a test window. You'll also see in the middle of the page a multi-digit code. That is your IP address. That is the address that you're going to need to use in your browser on your internet-enabled device to be able to access booth control and the kiosk. At the bottom, you'll see functionality as far as allowing for email, sending text messages, and reprinting within booth control and the kiosk mode. You'll also note here a port. That port's going to be important for you to be able to have full access to the system using booth control and kiosk mode. Once you go into kiosk mode, you'll see that you see images from the booth session. Here you can see a session that was done at the darkroom offices. And at the bottom of the screen, you see tabs that allow the guests to email the pictures, send the pictures via MMS or SMS, or they can reprint the images. Now, when we talk about booth control, we're talking about the ability for you, the operator, to fully control the booth from an external source. To access the booth controls, simply type in the IP address /controls, and that's going to bring you up to the control screen. As you can see here in the control screen, you have full control over the entire functionality of the booth. It allows you to start the photo session. You can end a photo session. You can tell it to retake an image. You can put the booth into maintenance mode. You can lock the booth for a guest. You can set the amount of time that the booth is locked for. This gives you full control over the entire booth from your mobile device without having to actually be up at the screen of the system. Booth control is a really powerful tool, but there is some key things to being able to use it. Again, you want to make sure that you have full control over the network that it's being used over to prevent any type of interference with local internet and to ensure that you're getting the maximum bandwidth as you're going to be pushing out images, potentially videos in your kiosk mode and over on your slideshow. So as we said earlier, you'll want to make sure that you have full control over this system and that you're utilizing your own hardware. This is booth control and kiosk mode. If you have more questions, you can contact us, but that reviews those modes in darkroom booth. Thanks.